Our children are aware through television and other means of the threatening world they live in. The violence of crime, wars, nuclear danger. How do we help them to face these? Our children are aware through television and other means of the threatening world they live in, the violence of crime, wars, nuclear danger. How do we help them to face these problems? How do we face the problem rather than the children? Because after all, the parents are also the educators, not merely the teachers of a school. The parents, though they have brought them into the world, they are also really deeply responsible people to teach them. So, what is our responsibility? How do we meet these problems ourselves? The wars, the violence, the terrible things that are shown on television, the terrorism, and all the rest of it. How do we meet it as parents, as human beings? I wish we could have a conversation about it, a dialogue, but that's not possible. So, how do I or you meet this terrible world? Do we accept things as they are, adjust ourselves to things as they are, modifying our lives, but accepting things status quo as they are? Do we accept it? Or if we do not accept them, how do we face the problem? How do I or you personally face the issue? Please, I'm asking this question. Don't just sit back and let me answer it. Let's find out together, how do we face this problem, these problems? What is our action? What shall we do? If I'm a parent and I have several children, and I see the things that are going on in the world, the tribal wars, the terrorism, kidnapping, all the rest of it. As a parent, how shall I educate to face this life? First of all, how do I, as a parent, face these problems? Is my response casual? Is my response traditional? My response that I cannot do anything about it? It's too vast, too complicated. And so I leave it to others, the politicians, the economists, the social reformers, and so on. Or do I take the total responsibility of what is happening in the world? If I'm violent, dishonest, there's no sense of a world global outlook, not parochial attachments. Is that possible? That is to have a global relationship psychologically. Is that possible? Or I live in a particular country and I have to obey its laws, follow its rules, and so on. So I am committed to the limited outlook on life. Is it possible for me as a parent, and so a teacher, is it possible for me to break away from all this? Break away from the usual mediocre tradition. And I'm afraid most of us are mediocre. And is it possible, can I undertake to educate my children to have a global attitude towards life? What do you say to it? Or shall I leave it all to the teachers in a school, however advanced, and let them educate my children? Not undertake the responsibility of educating them at home as well as in their holidays and so on. By nature, by inheritance, we are a violent people, aggressive, competitive, arrogant. We have come to that through various biological demands and also psychological, perhaps necessities which have become habitual. And as we are violent people, we create a violent society. And can I educate my children not to be violent? No nonsense. Perhaps I can talk to them about it, if I have time. Probably we have not time. We are worried of our own problems and get home rather tired after a long day and want to brush off the children. But if I take the responsibility to teach them, to help them to understand this cruel world, I may talk to them, I may point it out to them. By the televisions, the children friends are all encouraging violence. So I have to, at home I tell them one thing, And when they go outside, they are being gregarious, wanting to follow the tradition, not to be abnormal, different from others. They become like the rest of them, mediocre, cruel, thoughtless. You know what's happening. So, what shall I do? Please, it's your problem. What shall I, as a parent, do? Can I give up my pleasures? I am in the habit of smoking. Suppose I'm not. Suppose I'm in the habit of smoking, drinking, taking drugs, mildly, marijuana or whatever it is. And I tell my children not to do it. They won't believe me. They'll say you're a hypocrite. Even though they may not tell me that. So will I give up all those things for my children? Go into it, sir, it's your problem. Will I give up my drink, my irritations, my anger, my drugs and alcohol for the sake of my children? I've heard several parents in Europe and elsewhere say, why should I give up my pleasures for my blasted children? Do you understand the attitude? They have to face the world. And if we make them soft, they'll be destroyed. So, we must make them hard. You know, all the rest of it. So what shall I do? Am I educating my children as a parent at home, or am I educating myself as well as the children? You will follow my question? As a parent, I feel I have to educate them. But I carry on my own ways, dishonest, having no integrity, occupied with my own problems, with my own ambitions and so on. Can I, as a parent and a teacher of my children, educate myself as well as my 3 or 4 children? That means I have to break up the pattern in which I have been living. If I love my children, I have to. Because perhaps the influence of the home is far more important than the influence of the school, where the parents are supposed to love their children, care for them, look after them, see to their behavior, the language they use, cultivate their good taste, appreciation of beauty. That means I myself am educating all the time. Educating in the sense that not live in the same old pattern, same old habits of past generations which and amusements and pleasure. Obviously, I must give them up. But will the parents do this? Will you do it for your children? And will you help as a parent to bring about a new school? This has been a problem with which the speaker has been associated for the last 60 years. There are several schools in India. Here there is one here in England. And this is the problem. Not only the biological, sexual problem of an adolescent, and also the society is so brutally strong, the outward environment. You may bring them up very, very carefully, but the structure of society is so powerful. From this arises rather an interesting question. Society now demands engineers, scientists, businessmen, computer experts, architects, builders of roads, engineers. Society demands that. Through that, there lies the money, all the rest of it. If the society demanded a totally different type of group of people, you following what I'm? That is, a group of people who are not concerned with nationalism, with violence, with drugs, alcohol, all those things, but are deeply integrated, have integrity. Will society demand such a people? Obviously not. Some years ago, speaking in Switzerland, where we've been for the last 21 years, at the beginning, the particular place where we were speaking, Sarnum, didn't want us at all in the place. Because majority of the people who came there didn't smoke, didn't go to the butcher, didn't drink. So the village people said, why do you come here if you don't spend money? You follow the point of this? A society does not demand a group of people who have this sense of integrity, this sense of wholeness in their life, a profound religious life, not the traditional religious life which has no meaning at all. As society does not demand such people, Can we, as a group, be those people? You understand my question? It's a very interesting point. Then we have such a person, such a human being, has such strength, vitality in himself. And such a group becomes essentially important. They are like a light in darkness. So there are such parents who will be that. Oh, we're all so casual, sloppy, indifferent. He says, this is a very, very serious question, because you are bringing about a new generation of people. If that generation is merely the continuation of what you are, with all the violence and all the stupidities of war, society will then become more and more immoral, more and more destructive. So, as a group of parents, is it possible that we demand of ourselves the highest excellence in behavior, in conduct? Right? So we educate our children in a totally different way.